हेलो नमस्कार वेलकम टू एक्सपायरी की बात विद कोटक सिक्योरिटीज। मैं सहज अग्रवाल, हेड ऑफ डेरिवेटिव रिसर्च। आज आपसे वोलेटिलिटी, मार्केट्स और इन स्पेसिफिक एक्सपायरी का सेटअप कैसा है ये सब पॉइंटर्स डिस्कस करूंगा। पास्ट वन वीक हैज बीन अ लिटिल रेंज बाउंड फॉर द मार्केट, क्योंकि आई थिंक उसके पहले हमने एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन रैली, वी विटनेस्ड अ ग्रेट रैली राइट फ्रॉम 21,700 अप टू 24,300 in a very short period of time, crossed a major resistance level of 23,800. So such a strong rally followed by some resistance is quite obvious. In fact, आज ही एक बहुत बड़ा दिन था जहां पे we had a major geopolitical development before the market opened, but the market has been quite resilient. ग्लोबल मार्केट्स में भी उस तरह की वोलेटिलिटी ही हम विटनेस कर रहे हैं, जहां पे यू टॉक अबाउट द यूएस मार्केट्स, डाउ जोन्स, और you talk about the European markets, volatility is seen all across. So yes, we are in volatile times, but having said that, I think एक objective thought process रखने से हमेशा हमें clarity मिलती है, and we are always in a better position to take risk defined decisions. That's what we strongly believe in. As a trader, risk definition is extremely important. So keeping all these points in mind, we design our interactions and presentations for you. So let's begin with today's session of Expiry Ki Baat. Again, there are two parts to this. First, we just wanted to share some data pointers with respect to the derivative space, participant, open interest, participation activity, open interest build up, technicals. And the second part will be interactive charts, where we'll walk you through the charts and share our ideas and our suggestions as to where could the trading trigger point be after which one can actually initiate a trade. So without wasting more time, let's start with a brief presentation, which will be followed by charting. So once again, this is Sahaj Agrawal, Expiry Ki Baat with Kotak Securities. So relevant disclaimers. Yeah. So this is today's market performance. Mid cap index did extremely well, followed by the small cap index. Nifty was rather flat, not much movement seen out there. And Bank Nifty remained under pressure. So Bank Nifty has actually been quite volatile. And today, in fact, there was some recovery seen after the pressure seen in the first half, but it outperformed. But broadly, it's been a little volatile. Whereas Nifty today was more or less within the range with not much activity happening. What sectors did well? The good part is automobiles, FMCG, reality, which are laggard sectors. Like the rally that the market witnessed was mainly led by the banking and the financial space. Now that sector is kind of consolidating, and other sectors which were underperformers are participating, which is a good part of the market, which is actually helping the market sustain at high levels. What is the medium-term outlook? So broadly, we believe that the market continues to remain in a corrective phase since multiple weeks, multiple months as such. Within the larger range, we're witnessing a lot of volatility. I think price correction could be done, but time correction is possible. When we say time correction, basically what we're trying to say is some kind of a consolidation is possible in the markets going ahead in the next few weeks. What is the immediate range जो आपको ध्यान में रखना चाहिए? That is 23,800 on the downside and 24,900 on the upside. Why is this relevant? 23,800 was the previous resistance, which the market failed to cross. And then once it crossed with a bang and directly achieved the 24,300, 24,400 mark. And on the higher side, 24,900, because that's the first recovery attempt that the market made after the correction that it started in October 24. November, we made a bottom, started a rally. December, we made the stop. So I think every technical level has to have a psychological reason behind it, and that's where the importance of these levels comes into play. Again, as I mentioned before some time, laggard sectors should perform well, which is actually happening, and today was a classic day wherein the auto sector, the metals and the IT should participate, and some of these sectors are participating. And banking may, I think, increased volatility could be there because the way the prices have rallied, it's like good news could also have been discounted. So after announcements of results or something, we're seeing quite a lot of stocks witnessing some profit booking. Now coming to the expiry specific data parameters, which one should be aware of. Open interest build up is at 24,500 call and 24,300 put. So this is where the maximum build-up is for the upcoming expiry. Whereas if you see the other open interest highlights as well, 24,000 also has significant open interest in terms of the put, and 24,400 call also has significant open interest. So ideally, the 24,400 and the 24,500 level is expected to act as a significant resistance. यहाँ पे आपको significant resistance देखने मिल सकता है, because despite trading around these levels, open interest यहाँ पे काफी हद तक बना हुआ है. So it is like an inflection point for the market. अगर कोई गुड न्यूज आती है या मार्केट में मोमेंटम बरकरार रहता है, सस्टेन करता है, देन मे बी यू कुड सी अ सिग्निफिकेंट मूव बियॉन्ड दीज लेवल्स एज वेल. सो दिस इज अ मेजर जोन ऑफ resistance that one has to look at for the next trading session. And on the downside, you're looking at a immediate support level of 24,300. जिसके बाद में 24,000 is where the next open interest is seen. Now, moving to the option chain. So option chain में broadly what are we seeing? First of all, हम आज की activity को देख लेते हैं. So today there's been more put writing. 3,08,000 contracts on the put side have been added, whereas call side पे only 1,56,000 contracts have added. So broadly, today's movement is suggesting more put writers, less call writers, hence a positive bias. But now if we look at the weekly setup, overall पूरे हफ्ते में क्या हुआ है? Then there is 26,60,000, 64,000 call writing, whereas 22,75,000 put writing. So broadly, for the short term, we're seeing a little bit of a positive bias, but weekly basis पे अगर आप open interest को देखते हैं, तो that is suggesting that your call writing is more heavy. And again, if you look at the open interest, 24,500 call. This is where all the open interests are highlighted. The maximum number is over here at 24,100 call and 24,300 put. So ये screen में आपको overall daily activity, option writing की, weekly activity और open interest concentration का है. All of this data is available to you on the single screen. Now comes the max pain point. What is max pain? I'm sure as derivative traders, and active traders, all of you would be aware. But just for the interest, take 1 minute on the same. Max pain is that point where option writers make maximum money and option buyers lose maximum money, right? So today at this point of time, as per the data on closing basis, the max pain level is seen at 24,400, whereas Nifty is closed at 24,414. So approximately जहां पे max pain है वहीं पे index close हुआ है. And if it closes around this level itself, then option writers जिनका अभी भी premium DK बाकी है around 151 crores, that will go down to zero and they will pocket it. So option buyers का इतना loss होगा, option writers का इतना gain होगा as of today at this point of time. Yeah. So max point placed around where the market is closed, the 24,400 mark. Overall, since expiry, what is the overall activity that we're seeing? Bank Nifty, we're seeing some selling pressure. Fin Nifty, Mid Cap Nifty, Nifty has seen some good buying interest, consistent basis per, whereas the other indices have neutral numbers. So broadly, Nifty net selling and Nifty net buying. So basically, these are the incremental numbers post expiry जो FI ने positions ली है in the index derivative space for individual instruments. Now this is an interesting data point. How is the FI segment placed at this point of time on net basis? Yeah. So if you see, the blue line basically is highlighting the FI and Pro part. So index options में यदि आप देखेंगे तो FI is net long, Pro is net long. Okay, net long. So we are netting off positions. Long positions plus short position minus short positions क्या आ रहा है? That is what we're looking at. Whereas the client side is net short on the index option space. Similarly, now if we look at the futures, then FI and Pro have marginal net exposure on the index futures, whereas the client side seems to be more negatively biased. Yeah, and this client behavior of negative bias is seen since the past few trading sessions. So broadly, you can say there's a little bit of flip-flop wherein in options, FI and Pro are positive, wherein in futures they're negative, whereas client side seems to be negative on both aspects in index futures as well as the index option space. But overall, one important thing is that positions are broadly on the lighter side. So the open interest in Nifty futures, what we're looking at in terms of the net contracts, are relatively on the lower side. And within a low base, we are seeing around 49% net long positions. This is the highest number that we've witnessed since October 2024. we hovered around the 15 to 25 percentage since a long time. But April was a series wherein we started movement upwards, and now as we're into the May series, the number continues to remain elevated. Today we stand at 49.3% as per the last published data. So what are the broad building blocks before we move to the chart? Medium term consolidation continues. The immediate trading range that we're looking at is 24,200, 24,500. Broader range जो मैंने आपके साथ थोड़ी देर पहले शेयर किया is placed at 23,800 and 24,900. Open interest build-up again जो हमने पिछले स्लाइड में डिस्कस किया 24,500, 24,300. Selective stock performance and sector performance हम देख रहे हैं. And after a long time, the FII positions have a net long, which is practically 50% net long and 50% net short, short positions, which we've not seen since October 2024, right? So I think we've covered most of the data points, and now I'd like to walk you through the charts and what are the critical levels in terms of multiple time frames that we are looking at. So these are the charts that we have for you. To start off with, we'd like to talk about the medium term view for the market. As I shared with you before some time, this is the 24,000. Yeah, so this is the 24,900 level that I was talking about with you, wherein we're seeing significant resistance over here. And, the market made an attempt to cross this in the month of November, December. So ये जो correction आया था, इसके बाद first रैली जो था, proper रैली जहां पे broader market participation भी हुआ था, उस लेवल का ये टॉप है, right? And the 23,800 mark level is coming over here, wherein two times we made this fail to cross this level, and on the third time we've crossed this level and we witnessed this kind of a major rally. Now you see the rally is actually been pretty significant, right? One way rally आपने को देखने को मिली है, and I think broadly as a trader we would also agree that a strong rally should be followed by some kind of a consolidation to ensure that the broader health of the market remains strong and healthy, and that's what we're seeing. Sectors which performed well before, वहां पे थोड़ा करेक्शन प्रॉफिट टेकिंग आ रहा है, एंड सेक्टर्स विच अंडर परफॉर्म्ड दे आर काइंड ऑफ पिकिंग अप एंड वांटिंग टू participate and keep the market on the healthier note. Now coming to the next chart, which is the previous expiry session, just a brief roundup just to understand, कि previous expiry कैसी रही. तो previous expiry में we had actually, we had taken a support. In fact, it is coinciding with the levels of the current expiry as well. The level was around 24,200, right? So this phase is your expiry phase. Yeah, this phase is your expiry phase for the previous week. दैट इज थर्सडेज ट्रेडिंग सेशन. तो ये फेज में हम लोग ने डाउन साइड के लेवल को पूरे हफ्ते में एक बार भी ब्रेक नहीं किया है, विच इज बेसिकली इंडिकेटिंग दैट योर डाउन साइड सेंटिमेंट और योर डाउन साइड सपोर्ट इज एक्सट्रीमली स्ट्रॉन्ग. दो अपसाइड में भी वी विटनेस्ड लिमिटेड अपसाइड, बट लास्ट पूरे वीक में ये बोल सकते हैं कि पुट राइटर्स हैव मैनेज टू pocket the entire premium or writing karke they've gained, whereas call writers got challenged to a certain extent, but eventually that also kind of fizzled out and not much activity happened over there. Yeah. So now coming to the current expiry, as I mentioned, the levels are pretty similar with respect to the previous expiry and the current expiry. So again, your support, which was the gap down which the index made today, is placed around the 24,220 mark, right? So this was the low of expiry minus one from open interest and put option. Currently, Kind of maximum open interest build-up that we're seeing is placed at 24,500 strike and 24,400 strike. And in fact, expiry -1 support is higher than the low that was made today. So the key levels that one can actually look out for would be around the 24,450. If the market sustains above that level, right, and you see open interest being unwinding seen in the 24,400 and 24,500 strike, then there's a high possibility that. So above 24,450, a major up. Yes. So ideally 24,450 and 24,300 is the range that we're looking at. In fact, today we've initiated a range bound strategy expecting that the market could remain within the range. But for option buyers, key 2 points to be looked at is 24,450 on the higher side and 24,300 on the lower side. इसके ऊपर या नीचे hourly basis पे please be very clear, it should not be a blip trade that happens and then you really kind of consider taking a trade. But if it sustains below these levels, then is an opportunity for you to actually get in and take a trade. So that's about it from our side today. Kindly excuse us for the technical glitch that happened. We'll ensure that it doesn't repeat again. And have a great day today. And best of luck for tomorrow's trading session. Key levels are 24,300 on the lower side and 24,450 on the higher side, hourly closing basis. Thank you. Signing off. This is Sahaj Agrawal from Kotak Securities. Thank you.